Hey there guys, it's Kieran here from Producer Hive, and these are the world's first ultra-low latency studio headphones for music production from AIAIAI, the TMA-2 Studio Wireless Plus. Now the really interesting thing about these is that they are tackling a problem that Bluetooth technologies had since the dawn of time, which is between 100 to 300 milliseconds of latency, which if you're in the studio, that's a deal breaker. But the AIAIAI team have gotten that down to just 16 milliseconds, which make these a really viable option for studio music production. I've been putting them through their paces now for the last month or so, and I have some thoughts. I can't wait to share them with you. We're going to talk through build quality and comfort because you're going to be wearing them for a long time in the studio. We're going to talk through sound quality, which also needs to be top notch. We're going to be hearing from the company's founder, Friedrich, who can articulate way better than I can the levels and extent to which AIAIAI have gone to make sure they are being as environmentally conscious as possible. And something else quite interesting, this is actually 3 sets of headphones in one. So I'm going to talk through some use cases, where they really shine and where they could maybe do a bit better. Now before we get into it, I do need to let you know that AIAIAI did send me these for review, but they've not paid me anything. So all the views in this video are mine. And with all that said, let's get into the review.
So the first thing you need to know about the TMA-2 Studio Wireless Plus is they are completely modular, meaning you can change or upgrade components as you like. And this feeds into their environmental strategy, the theory being that they are a pair of headphones for life, and as they age or become damaged, or you simply want to change the padding or the size of the drivers as you move between the studio and the stage, you simply swap out that particular part that needs upgrading. So that you understand how they fit together, the headphones come disassembled, but setting them up was pretty straightforward. The thing that took a bit of time was getting my head around this. You see, the way they've dealt with the latency issue is with this little mini brick transmitter that connects to the headphones wirelessly, but that you can plug into anything with a headphone jack or 1/4-inch socket. They can also function as a standard set of wired or Bluetooth headphones as well, by flicking a switch on the right-hand side of the headband. And they come with a pretty lengthy coiled cable which can connect to either side depending on your preference. But it's when you start using the transmitter that these become really powerful and useful.
Now the first thing I did once the headphones were all set up was jump in the studio, fire up Tractor, and started having a mix with the transmitter plugged to the headphone jack of my Allen & Heath mixer. And to set the scene for you, sound quality, really good. Comfort factor, also really, really good. But what stood out instantly, and this is something that AIAIAI hear all the time, is just how much of a difference it makes not being tethered to the desk. And it's not something that you even realize is a problem. I've been an HD25 user for years and years, and you don't realize how restricting it actually is, only being able to wander about 1.5 meters either side before you've either got to unplug or take the headphones off. I found myself wandering to the kitchen. I can just even go stretch my legs, all while keeping the sound right in the headphones and keeping me in that creative flow state, which is so important when you're creating. And it's not something that I had ever realized was missing from my workflow. And personally, I think that that fact alone, justifies the price tag for these things. But they are not perfect. They're absolutely not the be-all and end-all. There are some situations where they don't fit in and they don't perform quite as you would like them to. But just know that if you are a creative who likes to kind of wander, maybe just take a little bit of a listen and kind of think and stretch your legs a little bit, these are pretty fantastic. With that said, let's check out some of the use cases for these things.
So without doubt, my #1 favorite thing about these is being able to work from anywhere. I now comfortably write music from the kitchen counter, I've been to the local cafe, and even sometimes the couch while the missus watches TV. I did also try them out on the train to and from work on Bluetooth mode, but unfortunately they don't isolate sound very well, and I found myself turning them way up and still struggling to hear what was going on. As already mentioned, I used them as a replacement for my Sennheisers for DJing, and they did really well there. And the other time I found them really useful was late at night, when I'd have an idea for something, and rather than firing up the monitors, I could just fire up the headphones and work on the idea without disturbing anyone else in the house.
Now before we wrap things up, we're going to hear from Friedrich, one of the company's founders, and some of the ways that they keep environmental sustainability front and center of mind.
What we wanted to do was to create great audio gear that at the same time was building on a Scandinavian heritage in terms of both responsible design, of course, beautiful aesthetics and quality. We were really focused on wanting to create a product that had a design that could last for a long time. That's not just flavor of the month, but something that could look good and would be a product that the user would keep with them for a long time. That's how we grew up. Modularity for us is not only about customizing your product, but it also means that you have this incremental product that you can keep for many years again. Well, then we start thinking about the materials that we use. Recycled plastics. We're using Alcantara cushions, which is a carbon neutral material from Italy. We're doing all we can, and we're definitely also seeing some sort of momentum in the world that surrounds us, which is amazing.
I do think that was a message really worth sharing, because personally, over the years, I've acquired a lot of equipment with absolutely no regard for how much of an effect it's having on the environment. So if you are thinking about picking up a pair of these, it's worthwhile bearing in mind the effort that's going into making sure they're a product that's going to last. And to wrap things up, I am really glad that I've been introduced to these, because they've completely changed the way that I work. The creative potential and creative freedom that they've opened up for me are amazing, but they are not cheap. £300, 400 euros, depending on where you are, is a lot of money to throw down for a set of headphones, but they're gonna last. They're a set of headphones for life. And with the freedom and potential creatively that they open up for me are amazing. And if you go for them, trust me, you're in for a good time. But let us know your thoughts down in the comments, and make sure you smash that like and subscribe button, because it really helps out the channel. And thank you so much for watching. I've been Kieran from Producer Hive. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.